Have you ever seen a celebrity respond to criticism without saying a single word? No angry tweets, no lengthy statements, no dramatic interviews, just pure comedy. Because that's exactly what many fans think happened when P-pop sensation BINI pulled off what is now being called one of the most iconic airport moments in recent P-pop history. And honestly, the more you look at it, the funnier it gets. But before we jump into the story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more P-pop updates, celebrity stories, and fun fandom moments like this one. And while you're down there, let me know in the comments. If you suddenly became famous tomorrow, would you wear masks and sunglasses at the airport, or would you just walk around normally? Personally, I feel like after 5 minutes of fame, I'd be hiding behind a giant hoodie. Now let's get into it. To understand why this airport appearance became such a huge deal, we actually need to rewind a little. Before the now famous Jabbawockeez moment happened, BINI had already found themselves at the center of an online discussion. Like many celebrities, the girls were often photographed while traveling through airports. Sometimes they wore masks, sometimes sunglasses, sometimes caps. Pretty normal stuff, especially for artists constantly moving between events, performances, and flights. But surprisingly, some people online weren't happy about it. Critics began questioning why the members covered their faces so often while traveling. Some claimed the girls seemed unapproachable. Others argued that they should be more visible when fans wanted to see them. The discussion eventually grew large enough to spread across social media. At one point, some people even compared the members to veteran Filipino singer Sarah Geronimo. The entire debate became one of those classic internet situations where everyone suddenly had an opinion. And as usual, people were divided. Some agreed with the criticism. Others immediately defended the girls. Many fans pointed out that celebrities are still human beings. They get tired, they get sick, they wake up early for flights. And sometimes they simply don't want dozens of cameras pointed directly at their faces before breakfast. Which honestly sounds pretty reasonable. I mean, most of us barely want to look at ourselves in the mirror first thing in the morning. Imagine having hundreds of photos taken instead. Eventually, the discussion started slowing down. The controversy wasn't dominating timelines anymore. People moved on to the next trending topic, or so everyone thought. Because sometime later, BINI was preparing to travel to General Santos City in Mindanao for their BINIverse concert. A normal travel day, a regular airport appearance. At least that's what everyone expected. Instead, the girls showed up looking like they had just stepped out of a completely different universe. Suddenly, fans spotted a group of figures wearing matching beige tracksuits, white masks, coordinated outfits, and an appearance that instantly reminded people of the legendary American dance crew, Jabbawockeez. The moment photos began circulating online, social media absolutely lost its mind. People immediately started connecting the dots. Now, to be clear, BINI never officially announced that these outfits were a response to the earlier airport criticism. But that didn't stop fans from forming their own theories. Because let's be honest, the timing was pretty funny. Months earlier, people had complained about masks and covered faces. Now here was BINI showing up looking even more anonymous than before. Whether intentional or not, many Blooms saw it as the perfect playful callback. And suddenly, the internet had a new favorite joke. One fan called it the biggest clapback in P-pop history. And honestly, I can see why people thought that. Because instead of arguing online, the girls somehow turned the entire situation into comedy. The funniest part was how committed they were. This wasn't one member doing something random. This wasn't one person making a joke. Every single member committed to the concept. Everybody wore the outfit. Everybody wore the mask. Everybody understood the assignment. This wasn't just airport fashion anymore. This was performance art. The kind of commitment usually reserved for movie productions and Halloween competitions. And if you thought that was the end of it, it somehow got even funnier. Because once photos started spreading online, fans immediately began trying to identify which member was which sounds easy, until you remember that everyone was dressed almost exactly the same. Suddenly, social media transformed into a detective agency. Fans started zooming into pictures, analyzing heights, studying walking styles, looking at shoes, examining body language. Some people probably opened spreadsheets. Others likely started conspiracy boards. Meanwhile, one of the funniest reactions started making the rounds online. Someone posted, "Only true blooms know who's who." And then came the punchline, a confused Shrek image, because even dedicated fans couldn't tell. Imagine spending years supporting a group, memorizing every member, every performance, every live stream, only to stare at a photo and think, wait, which one is that? The internet was having the time of its life. One viral reaction joked that there are two types of BINI, aircon humor and canal humor. And honestly, that might be one of the most accurate descriptions of the group ever. One moment, they're delivering polished performances on huge stages. The next moment, they're casually causing chaos at an airport for the entertainment of an entire fandom. That's range. That is true versatility. Another hilarious reaction mentioned that even the security guard seemed amused by everything happening around him. And honestly, who wouldn't be? Imagine going to work expecting a normal day. Then suddenly a famous girl group shows up dressed like Jabbawockeez and sends the entire internet into detective mode. That's not something you see every day. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps the channel and lets me know you'd like more PPop content like this. Now here's where the story goes from funny to legendary, because BINI didn't stop at the airport. No, they committed to the bit all the way through. Later, the members shared more photos from the day on social media. And the captions? Absolute gold. Some posts included lines like, "You tell me that you're sorry." Others referenced, "I said it's too late to apologize." At this point, fans were completely losing it, because the airport appearance was already hilarious on its own. Now, the social media captions seemed to add another layer to the joke. Again, nobody officially confirmed anything. But fans definitely had their interpretations, and those interpretations spread everywhere. The entire thing felt like one giant inside joke between BINI and the fandom, one that thousands of people were suddenly participating in. What makes this moment so memorable isn't necessarily whether it was an intentional clapback or not. It's the fact that people are still talking about it. Think about it. Most online controversies disappear after a few days. People argue, people move on, nobody remembers. But this became a fandom moment, a story, a memory. Years from now, many people probably won't remember every detail of the original criticism, but they'll absolutely remember the day BINI showed up looking like a dance crew and left everyone confused. And that's kind of impressive, because the conversation stopped being about negativity. Instead, it became about humor, creativity, and a shared laugh among fans. Honestly, that's probably one of the healthiest outcomes any controversy can have. The entire situation also highlights one of BINI's biggest strengths, their personality. Obviously, the girls are talented. Their success didn't happen by accident. But moments like this remind people why fans connect with them beyond the music. People love artists who feel human, artists who can laugh, artists who don't take themselves too seriously. And whether this airport appearance was a deliberate joke, a playful reference, or simply a fun concept the members wanted to try, it definitely showed that side of them. The side that enjoys having fun, the side that enjoys making people laugh, and the side that understands exactly how to create a memorable moment. Because let's be real, thousands of celebrities travel through airports every year. Most airport photos get forgotten within hours. Yet somehow, BINI managed to turn a simple airport appearance into a piece of PPop lore. That's honestly impressive, and maybe that's why so many fans still call it iconic. Not because it was loud, not because it was controversial, but because it was funny. Sometimes the moments people remember most aren't the biggest scandals or the biggest achievements. Sometimes they're just the moments that make everyone smile. And this definitely feels like one of those moments. So what do you think? Do you think this was one of the funniest airport appearances in PPop history? Do you think the Jabbawockeez-inspired outfits were an intentional callback to the earlier criticism? Or do you think fans simply connected the dots and created their own hilarious interpretation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share it with fellow Blooms and PPop fans. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.